going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web here on a Monday night with lots of stuff to talk about. How do we start off this show? Is the phone is just going off. Sorry about the late time, but you really can't do anything about that with Mother Nature being difficult, if you will. But there was no way in the world that I wasn't going to do a show tonight. You had to be out of your freaking mind, not with some of the stuff that's going on right now with, of course, Tristan Wirfs being hurt, as we heard that last week, and then the breaking news today. But how do we start off the Sports Web? As you know them, you love them, you got to have them. So here it is. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Once again, I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter, giving you something to think about. And Rays fans, you guys want to talk about something? Is it the All-Star game by chance? Junior Caminero in the home run derby contest? Is that what it is?
How about no?
No, I don't think that's what it is. Is it the Rays losing streak, which, by the way, the last 10, they have been 2-8. Yeah. Not good at all, but that is not the top story. In fact, this just a couple hours ago from ESPN, Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic. Tampa Bay Rays owner Stu Sternberg has agreed in principle to a $1.7 billion deal, billion with a B, to sell the franchise to a group led by Florida-based developer Patrick Zalupski, according to the report from The Athletic. The deal is reportedly expected to be closed as early as September and will keep, let me go ahead and emphasize this for the people out there who didn't believe some of the reports that were coming out of this show, including the great J.P. Peterson of the J.P. Peterson Show. The deal is reportedly expected to be closed as early as September and will keep the franchise in the area. Zabluski, a home builder in Jacksonville, having a strong preference to land in Tampa rather than St. Pete. Is this a surprise? Is this a shocker? It should not be. If you watched the show about a month and a half ago or 2 months, we had JP on. We told you to connect the dots and kind of put on your thinking cap, did we not? Rays fans, huh? Zalupski, with his connections to Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida. And by the way, DeSantis was talking to who? Rob Manfred. So it all makes sense at this point. And again, the $1.7 billion, this is from Major League Baseball. This was not a bidding war. There was not another investment group involved in this. This is what Rob Manfred, Major League Baseball, wanted. Also, according to J.P. Peterson, Zalupski and his group have been talking to Daryl Shaw, who was a part of the group in 2018 to bring the Rays to Ybor, which fell apart. Which, by the way, what was the constant, everyone? Stu Sternberg. What was the constant in 2008? Stu Sternberg. What's the constant in 2025? Stu Sternberg. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Thank God. So I want to hear from you Rays fans tonight. I want to hear what you have to say about this. Are you excited about the deal possibly being done? Also, according to JP, who just did a emergency podcast with his power being on because he was in Orlando, I'm here in Tampa. He says that this investment group is digging into this organization, which means they may actually, I don't know, it's crazy to think about, they actually may spend some money at the trading deadline. So open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. If that wasn't enough, as we talked about some of the Rays All-Stars, you can comment on that. Brandon Lau hurt which is never a good thing.
That's great enough to suck right there.
The great thing is, though, you give him an opportunity to rest. You have Junior Caminero. You got Drew Rasmussen, who's in there, which is phenomenal. Of course, you got the first baseman there, Aranda, in the mix, who deserved it. So are you going to watch the All-Star game for the Rays? We'll definitely talk about that. We'll talk about the Rays and what they've been doing lately. Again, if that wasn't enough, Tristan Wirfs injury. This just a couple days ago. Looks like he's going to miss the first 4 games of the season. For you Bucs fans out there, what's the record projection? Mine was 12-5. Do you think that should change? Again, open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Facebook stars are open. YouTube super chats. If you love the content, give to it. Sorry about missing last week, but you know what? You got to tie up some loose ends. You got to go out and do Uber. You got to put your nose to the grindstone. We got Leo Haggerty coming on tonight. We may have Louie from the Frozen Pirate podcast. We'll have Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Best of the Bay. We'll have Harry the Greek. And, of course, we'll take your phone calls. Let's go out to Roger Shu, the tribal troll, off of YouTube first.
Acknowledge me.
And we'll just get it out of the way because I know you're going to troll us. So here we go.
Shut up.
Let's go out to Christopher Cole. Evening to you.
F you.
Well, that's not it. Right there.
Ooh,
My
yeah.
bad. And by the way, this is to all the pundits out there locally and nationally who thought my guy, JP Peterson, was full of it.
F you, F you, F you, and F you. Peace out. I'm going to go have a Guinness.
There you go. I hope he is having a Guinness because you were right. He was right. He was right on the money. Sorry to burst your bubble. You all were wrong. He was right. They're not going to Orlando. They're not staying in St. Pete. They're going to Tampa. Let's go. Absolutely. Let's go.
Yes. Yes.
Let's go out to Eric, LFG. Let's go out to Tim. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you.
Ooh, yeah.
We want this. I think a lot of people want this. Eric says, you say Tampa, I say Bay. Absolutely. Let's go out to Ben off of YouTube right there. Good evening, PB. All I know is the defense definitely has got to step up now. LFG Bucs for life. Absolutely. Go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
It's exciting.
Go Bucs.
How about them Bucks, baby?
Go Bucs. By the way, they are revealing a uniform tomorrow. Are you excited about that? I told you that I feel like it's going to be all, of course, it's going to be all white, but I think it's going to be the creamsicle numbers. That's the reason why you bring in Steve Spurrier in the first place. Let's go out to Eric. We have a tie derby right now. Hey, it's Peter. Good to see you back live. Absolutely.
Ooh, yeah.
Dave, thanks a lot for tuning in. The Levante jersey on display. Absolutely. Why do I have the Levante David jersey? Because he's a future Hall of Famer with the signature in the background. And oh, by the way, it covers up the wall just a little bit, covers up some of those shadows that we got to work on. Good thing the Cubs took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. Eric, Dave England, hell yes. Tony Greco, good to hear. Raise up, raise up. Let's go out to Dave here. Good to hear the Rays will stay in Tampa Bay. Now, hopefully a better owner that might actually care about the team. Let the truth set you free, because Tampa Bay Rays fans, I have never hated this team, but it is hard to be a fan of this team with the ownership. You deserve the ownership that the Tampa Bay Lightning fans have. You deserve the ownership that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have. And I think you're going to get it here very, very soon. Christopher Cole. Now Stu can go back to New York, be a Mets fan. He can go invest in the Mets. He can go invest in the stock market, hopefully lose all his money. He can do whatever the hell he wants to with the $1.7 billion that he's going to get. Hit the road, Jack. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you. I think that's correct. I don't know. You can tell I'm excited. You can tell. Can't wait for the white throwback. Absolutely. All right. Without further ado, let's go out to my first guest here. I know he'll have something to say about this Tampa Bay Rays deal, possibly. I know he'll have something to say about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know he'll have something to say to you webheads out there and Tampa Bay sports fans. Get ready. Get set. Here we go.
Book him, Dano.
All right. Let's go out to Mr. Leo Haggerty. Leo, welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television, my friend, on a Monday night here. As we'll get rid of that, we'll come back to that right there. Actually, we'll go with that shot right there. Leo, your thoughts on this this breaking news that came down just a couple hours ago that essentially says that the Rays and Stu Sternberg have agreed in principle to sell to the Zalupski Group from Jacksonville, and that they are going to stay in Tampa for a grand total of $1.7 billion. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television, my friend.
Thank you for having me on, Peter. I'm going to take this in parcels. The first thing, have a sale, all right? And again, I won't believe it till the ink's dry on the paper.
Okay.
But we have what seems like, in principle, an agreement to sell the team. I'm hoping that the ownership group has already talked to Rob Manfred, because if they're planning on staying in Tampa as opposed to St. Pete, you're not going to have a place to play until 2028 at the earliest. I'm hoping Major League Baseball is going to subsidize some of the lost revenue that this group's going to have, because they're at the mercy of the Yankees right now in terms of, okay, can we get Steinbrenner Field next year? Can we get it for 3 more years while we build here? And that's something that's going to, in flux. I'm concerned if they don't have a handshake agreement from Major League Baseball to cover their nut for 3 years, because they will not make enough money for that franchise to be sustainable in Tampa, waiting for that stadium to be built. That's my biggest concern, is where are they going to play for the next 3 years if they plan on playing in Tampa?
Well, I'm thinking they're going to they're most likely they're going to play where, in St. Pete with Tropicana. They're going to work out a deal. I think the commissioner, I think the ownership group knows this. We've kind of talked about this. That's a little bit better there. I like the red. It's too much black there. With us here, we'll come back to the 2-shot, but I think that's where they're going at this point, and what they're looking at is playing the remaining years of that lease or paying it off. Of course, I don't know how they're, what the Trop situation is, how much money is going to be dedicated to it. Can they play somewhere else besides the Steinbrenner there? I mean, what's your sense there? Do you think they play somewhere else? Do they stay at Steinbrenner, or do you think they make it back to Tropicana and they play a couple years until the stadium is built, more than likely in 2029?
If I'm the ownership group, before I even sign and I'm going to buy this club, I have to have an agreement with St. Pete.
Right.
I have to be able to get into the Trop until a stadium is built somewhere. And again, the St. Petersburg and Pinellas County, they may exert a little pressure here. We may want you to look here in St. Pete, because if I'm a politician in St. Pete and Pinellas, why do I want to renovate the Trop to tear it down in 3 or 4 years if they're going to go to Tampa?
Correct.
Again, Peter, it's an agreement in principle, but I'm hoping that the ownership group dots all their I's and crosses all their T's, because there's still a lot of work to be done to make this franchise sustainable for the time that it's going to take to build that stadium somewhere.
Well, I think the interesting part, we're on with Leo Haggerty of Amped Up Sports here. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, here on a Monday night with the breaking news, a later start time because of the storms and because of the power and the internet being knocked out. So we do apologize, but thanks a lot for tuning in. But the breaking news here, according to Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic and other sources, including ESPN, Tampa Bay Rays owner Stu Sternberg has agreed in principle to a $1.7 billion deal to sell the franchise to Patrick Zalupski and his group with Tampa Bay businessmen. I think also the interesting thing to take out of this is Zalupski was talking to Daryl Shaw, who has been in on this since 2018. Most likely, you would think, to connect the dots once again, you would put this stadium in Ybor. In your opinion, does that make sense to you, Leo Haggerty, to put the stadium in Ybor, or would you put it somewhere else? Where would Leo Haggerty put it, and where do you think it's going to end up?
A little closer to Orlando, Peter. I'd put it out near the fairgrounds.
Okay.
Because now you can get the people from Lakeland. It makes it easier. And again, I don't see anything wrong with Ybor because Jeff Vinnick's done a pretty good job down there with the Lightning in a, proximity. I would like to see it because of 81 home games. I'd like to see it closer to the Lakeland, Orlando, I-4 corridor. Only because that could increase people going to the game. The biggest problem, Peter, is it's got to be a dome. And anybody that sits here and thinks this team could play without a dome, just look at tonight.
Well, you look at tonight and look at the last couple months here, but I also think it can be done with the retractable roof. I think that's where it's at. You get a grass field, you get the best of both sides there. If you're going to pay all that money, which this new group seems like they're going to, then I would go with the retractable stadium. I understand the weather elements all too clearly because being a Floridian and being here all my life, you deal with hurricanes, of course, the two catastrophic hurricanes last year, which changed plans, which really just changed everything, if you will. With that being
Peter,
said,
I'm going to ask you a question.
Sure.
$1.7 billion for the team with no stadium. I think that's a little inflated. I think Stu got pretty much he squeezed every nickel out of that to get 1.7. I was surprised without a stadium that it got above 1.1, 1.2.
Well, the talk was that Stu wanted 1.8 or $2 billion, but of course, Major League Baseball wasn't going to allow that to happen. They wanted this deal to happen, and certainly it looks like it's going to happen by September, so you can get the ball rolling here. I thought the other interesting thing from JP and his reporting, again, JP Peterson had the story from the very get-go, had it tonight. He said the new ownership group has dived, if you will, or dug into this organization. So you would think if the Rays do need to make some deals there at the deadline when it comes to bullpen, thank God, maybe a bullpen, maybe another bat, that they would be able to do that. So to me, that's the most exciting thing about it. They're digging into this organization and trying to put some money
Peter,
down.
The biggest problem, right? And not a problem.
Yes.
But the biggest obstacle the new ownership group has is who do we keep and who do we get rid of in terms of administration and, front office people. Who stays, who goes.
I think you clean house. I think you some of it, a lot of it, you clean house. I do.
Well, then that's not going to happen until probably after the season. They're not going to clean house. If that sails in September, they're not going to do anything till at the end of the season. I mean, that would be the smart thing to do. And, Peter, interestingly enough, this story breaks the day after the draft.
Right.
That I thought was rather conspicuous, didn't you?
Well, I thought it was also interesting the fact that you do it during the home run derby, which, by the way, we've got a story. Junior Caminero, who hit 21 home runs, his first time out, 21 years old, 21 home runs. So the sky's the limit for this kid. This kid continues to light it up and give a reason for Rays fans out there to tune in, because he's clearly become the face of this organization. I want to go out to Nick Richard here. I'm not normally the type to post about local business. That's okay. Post about local business. We love that here on the Sports Web. This young man needs to be brought up. Limitations exist only in the mind. This boy, David Brown, who lives next door in Gulfport, his father died last year in an accident. Check out his work in SI. You guys will definitely love it. He's working passionately to help his mother out, meet his expenses as well. Do like his page to help him grow. He's a genius in the field. Did mine last week, and it was outstanding. Thank you very much for the heads up. We appreciate that. Let's go out to Tim here, going back to the Dome for 3 years. Stand by. Let's go out to one of the biggest Rays fans out there. He calls himself the #1 webhead on this show. We shall see. Let's go out to Alex leading it off here. You're on with yours truly, along with Leo Haggerty, the legend, here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television on a Monday night. Your thoughts?
Good evening, my friends.
What's going on, boss? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I hope you guys are doing good as well.
Yes.
Well, the breaking news of the day is that the Rays are one big step forward into this big sale that I know I've had my doubts, but, I think if this is all good thing, us Rays fans have been waiting a long time for this to get some ownership in here. I do think it's a little odd time to announce it. I did hear a little bit about, I think the draft was, a day or two ago.
Right.
You're about to hit the All-Star break, about to hit the trade deadline. Who's running this team? That's a question that's the reason why I'm giving you guys a call. Do you guys think that the new owners are already in here
Yes.
doing some undercover stuff,
Yes.
wanting to go after a run? Do you think some big pieces get moved at the deadline? I'm hearing a lot of things about Taj being a big guy at the deadline that people are interested or teams are interested in. So what's your guys' opinion on the Rays maybe making a run here?
I definitely think it's possible, and it goes back to the reporting from JP. He says that they have been digging into the organization, if you will, which means they could be trying to make a big deal. Taj Bradley's got some value. I don't know how much value. He's 24 years old. The sky's the limit, but he's been inconsistent, so I'm not sure if that will get it done. But it may be some prospects that a lot of Rays fans won't necessarily want to give up. But again, if it gets you over the top, if it gets you not only to the division title, but also to win a World Series, I'm all about adding payroll. I've been screaming at the top of the rooftops the last 10 to 15 years for this ownership to do it. So to answer your question, I think Zalewski and his group mean business, and if they do, they're going to definitely make some moves. Leo, what do you say?
Let's hope so. And again, when you look at the model that the Rays have had when they were winning,
Yep.
pitching and defense, will find a way to score runs.
Right.
And they ran into a buzzsaw up in Boston. I mean, the Red Sox were 6 wins in a row. They were on fire, and they just couldn't find a reliever to shut the door in 4 of those games. It was a shame.
Yep.
But they're still 5. They're behind Toronto, and I think Toronto is the surprise team of the entire Major League Baseball. I get that what's happening in the AL Central is phenomenal with, the things that are going on there. But Toronto being ahead of New York, Boston, and Tampa Bay, no one saw that coming.
Definitely nobody saw that coming. It's been the bullpen. And listen, every team goes through their ebbs and flows, but the way they're losing games right now is just heartbreaking for a lot of Rays fans, whether you want to blame Cash, whether you want to blame the pieces that you have in that bullpen, whether you want to blame the starting pitching staff. Right now, it's the Rays' time. We've seen this Rays team play better. They can play better, but they definitely need to add to it, in my opinion, with the trade deadline.
Would you mind if I chime something in real quick before I get out of here?
Sure, go for it.
I just think, and I'm hoping, as a Rays fan, and what I've seen, especially over the last 5 years, I'm not going to go beyond 5 years because I'm just going to go back to the World Series and the last time that the Rays made the World Series, which was a great run, by the way. We can all go back to 2020 and relive all that. A shortened season and everything that happened during that COVID year is a big story itself. But I just would love to see the ownership come in here and just put analytics away. I really still think to this day that is the Rays' issue. I think we've lost all these games because our starting pitching is still Listen, I've watched multiple games over the month of July, which have been during our very tough stretch, which is so disappointing because you guys saw in the month of June that the Rays were red hot. The Rays were all talked about being the best team in baseball.
Right.
And then to take a complete 360, that is because I really do, and this is my last question I have before you guys probably get out of here. I really do think that I do think in my heart that Kevin Cash is being told what to do.
Yes,
I do think it. I do think it.
Yes.
I don't think no normal manager, if it was his own call, is sitting here putting the same two pitchers in there to blow night after night after night. There's no way.
I agree. I completely agree, Alex.
I would really hope to see that this new ownership that comes in here can just put analytics away, play the game like it's supposed to be played. Because, by the way, guys, why do you think the Yankees have the same exact issue that the Rays have? Why do you think that the Yankees lost the World Series last year? Because they pulled their pitcher, I believe it was Clay Holmes. Don't hold me on that. During that last game against the Dodgers, and he pulled him at 7 pitches, and their bullpen exploded. They were terrible. They were just terrible. So I think the Rays issue is. And for all the Rays fans out there is don't give up on this team. I think there's still amazing, great potential. But Peter and Leo, I think that the issue is that the Rays are too fond upon analytics, and I think it's really hurting players. I think it's causing injuries. I think that the Rays have been really unfortunate on deals. Ha-Seong Kim came in, already hurt. Not really producing much, worth $10 million a year. That's just my opinion on it.
Not ready to give up on him yet. I think you're absolutely right. They're tied too much to analytics. Use that second call, Alex. We appreciate it at all, my friend. Yep, absolutely. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I mean, do you agree with Alex that they're tied too much to analytics? And a lot of baseball teams are tied too much to analytics in the way of, you have Taj Bradley the other night, 88 pitches. You take him out of the game instead of maybe pitch him for another inning. You put in a guy you just traded for. You flew him out there in Baker from Baltimore, and he absolutely gets shelled. I'm not saying he's going to do that all year long, but does that make sense to you? 88 pitches? I mean, what are we talking about here? Can you go a little bit further with some of these pitchers these days, or is it always going to be tied to analytics no matter what?
Well, let's be honest, Peter. If the Rays weren't tied to analytics, Snell would still be pitching in Tampa Bay. I mean, when Cash came out of the dugout in Game 6, after all Snell had done is given up a bloop single and an infield hit, struck out the top 3 Dodgers twice, 6 strikeouts there. And then because he's heading into the lineup, Peter, people are missing the boat here. It's not the number of pitches, it's the time through the lineup. When they hit the 3rd time through, they're getting the hook. And that's just I think
ridiculous. It's ridiculous because you're an old school guy. You watch Nolan Ryan, you watch the great pitchers of the day there, Roger Clemens. I mean, the list goes on.
Can you imagine going out and getting Bob Gibson, getting Juan Marichal, getting Sandy Koufax, getting Don Drysdale, and saying, give me the ball, you're going through the lineup the 3rd time. There'd be a fist fight on the mound. There would literally be a fist fight.
We're doing too much.
They're not letting these guys go. You've got to, and I really suggest to everybody, read Joe Madden's book, because it'll tell you what baseball has turned into. And the fact that you are not, as a manager, allowed to go by your gut feeling. I mean, the guy goes through to the 3rd. It's automatic. It's like the general manager calls down, get him out. And you got to trust your gut. You got to trust your feeling. If this guy's pitching well, and what Cash should have done in the World Series is walked out to the mound, looked at the catcher and said, does he still have it? And if he'd have said no, then put your hand up and call for the right-hander. If he'd have said yes, I'd have turned, given Snell the ball and say, we're riding you the rest of the way, pal. Take us home. And that just doesn't happen anymore. Peter, I'm going to give you the trivia question of the night.
Give it to me.
What was the most complete games last year by any pitcher in Major League Baseball?
No idea. No idea. I have no idea. Two complete games.
Two complete games in the entire season. That was it.
You're doing too much. And everybody's saying, well, that's just the game. That's the way the game goes. It's not the way the game goes.
No.
You have less complete games. You have more injuries to pitchers. You have all this loading and saving and all this other nonsense. And why do you have more injuries to pitchers? Make it make sense at the end of the day.
I'll tell you what, Peter. I know this is a little off topic, but Major League Baseball really screwed up by deciding to bring The Miz into the All-Star game. The guy has 5 starts in his Major League career.
Yeah.
And he's going to the All-Star game. Now, he's 6'7". He brings some of these pitches at 103. And if he goes out and takes the bump in the All-Star game and throws 900-mile-an-hour plus pitches, strikes out the side, drop the mic. Okay? That's it. But that was such a short sample to bring a guy to the All-Star game when you had other guys who had larger databases with better records. That's just like, no, can't do that. But yeah,
it's the flaw. It's the flaw of fan voting. It's the flaw of the player voting. It doesn't make any sense at the end of the day.
Peter, it's more of the fault of pitchers not wanting to go and miss a start. I mean, Wheeler said, "Look, I'm going to start now. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to give up a start for my team just to pitch in the All-Star game." And people are going to have to start realizing this. If you want to have an All-Star game, you're going to have to give a team a week off. You're going to have to say, okay, your last game is Sunday. We're going to do the All-Star game, not Tuesday, Thursday. And then we're going to come back the following Monday. That way a guy gets his normal rest, even if he pitches in the All-Star game. But, Peter, you know that's not going to happen. So that's just crazy.
It is. It is crazy. Leo, thanks a lot for joining us here. Let me go back out to the comments here. Tim says going back to the Dome for 3 years, in my opinion, maybe. Ed, thank you very much for tuning in, Mr. Ed. Peter Blake loved the show. Dave, Rays fans wanted it to happen, not just Major League Baseball. Agree. Thank God the Rays are going to stay. Jazz has been eliminated from the Yankees there. Yankees suck. Jazz, get them out of here. Christopher O'Reilly, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening to you.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Dave here. Better not get rid of their scouting department. Rays find great players and then develop them. They bring them up and then let them go because they don't want to pay them. Hopefully that changes for Rays fans with their new owners. Good comment there. Roger Shoe. Alex, you're not even close to the biggest webhead. I've been with Peter since day one, over 20 years ago. Good point there, Tribal Troll.
Acknowledge me.
Tony Greco says, like Pete, but they really need a shutdown closer. Tony again agrees, should have left Taj in. And Tony says Junior made it to the second round of the home run derby. I can't watch it, so please give me an update. But the 21-year-old young superstar, once again representing the Tampa Bay Rays. Really quick, do you have any concern about Caminero and his swing? Because we saw this from Randy Arozarena and how it affected his swing in the second half. Do you have the same type of concerns for this 21-year-old? And what do you think of him, Junior Caminero, really showing out tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays all across Major League Baseball?
Peter, I have huge concerns, and I'm going to go back to Bobby Abreu with the Phillies. I think he hit maybe 35 to 40 homers in the home run derby. Guess how many he hit the rest of the season? 0. It affects your swing. When they said he was going in, I thought, oh, no, don't do this to the kid. Because now he'll think, all right, all I got to do is swing for the fences. And I think I'm a power hitter. Hey, see ball, hit ball. That's the key. And, and don't try to change it. And I'm going to disagree when they said that the Yankees lost because they pulled the pitcher. If Aaron Judge catches that ball, they may still be playing. So, you can only go down that road so many times. Peter, the left-hander's calling. I got to get out. We lost power here, too.
I got to ask you one question before, because we talk Bucs on this show. What was your thoughts on the Tristan Wirfs report there? Knee surgery. Looks like he's going to be on the PUP list. Looks like you're going to miss the first 4 games. Oh, by the way, you start out with the Atlanta Falcons. You start out with the Houston Texans, the New York Jets, and of course the Philadelphia Eagles, the first 4 games. What did you think of when that happened? Should they have taken care of it last year? Their medical professionals, I guess, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they decided, you know what, this is the advice they got, and then they did further, evaluation, and they found that it needed to be cleaned out, and then there was a situation there. So thank God it's not for the whole year. But what did you think of that whole situation, and how does it affect the Bucs record going forward? And we'll leave you on that.
Well, Peter, first 4 games, they can go as bad as 1-3, but that one has to be Atlanta. They can't lose to Atlanta because that's like a double loss in the division. I hope they don't do what the Kansas City Chiefs did. And when their guys got hurt in the offensive line, they started moving pieces around. I remember they moved Louie to tackle against the Eagles, and that was disastrous.
And I think we lost Leo Haggerty. So there you go. That's what happens sometimes. So we lost Leo on that. We will hopefully get him back in here so he can finish his thought. But yeah, that's the other story. Of course, Tristan Wirfs and the injury. Looks like he's going to miss the first 4 games of the season. What type of impact, Bucs fans, do you think it's going to have on this Bucs team? We'll get back to Leo in his thoughts here. Leo, are you ready to go? Because sometimes that happens, my friend. What's going on? Welcome back.
Well, I think we had another lightning strike here. So
I'm telling you, we've had it all night long. We had power outs when the story broke. The story broke about 5:30 when I got off of work, and then the power went out about 5:50, 6 o'clock, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. So I, again, put the update out there. We didn't have power until then, and internet. It's been happening all night long, and I heard it's supposed to get worse. Where's my buddy, Dennis Phillips? We need to get him on in his weather forecast. But go ahead and finish your thought about Tristan Wirfs in the first 4 games of the season.
Let me finish that up. And again, if it's 4 games, that's livable.
Right.
If it starts to become 6 to 8, now you're starting to worry. But again, I'm hoping they just plug in somebody, that they don't move somebody. Because now you got 2 of the 5 pieces, not just 1 of the 5 pieces.
Right.
And in my 20-plus years, well, almost 30 years of being a scout, what I've learned is when you start tinkering with the offensive line, it takes 2 games to bring in a new piece. So I can remember what, Peter, 2-3 years ago when the Bucs had 3 new offensive linemen, they didn't get right until week 7.
Yeah.
Week 8. And that's going to happen. It's going to take them a while. I just wish Atlanta was game 4 and not game 1.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. And of course, a lot of people looking at Atlanta sweeping the Bucs last year. I think the defense is going to be improved. I don't know what type of impact it has on this team, but anytime you lose, possibly the best left tackle, not only the best left tackle, but the best offensive tackle, young offensive tackle in the league, it's going to have some type of impact. And you're a coach. I know you want to get out of here, but what do you do to counteract that? How do you help out a player that's going to step in there? And Charlie Heck, who consequently, they get him from the Houston Texans, and he's going to have that matchup there most likely, versus an Anderson and of course, I'm trying to Daniel Hunter, which is going to be tough. You're going to match up. So how do you help out a guy like Charlie Heck on that left side? What do you do if you're a coach of the Bucs? What do you do if you're Josh Grizzard? Or Grizzard?
4 words, Peter.
Yeah.
Run the darn football.
Okay.
I mean, if you cannot establish a running game and these guys can just come with no fear of the running game, you're putting Baker at a disastrous disadvantage, and his health as well.
Yeah.
Because everybody talks about next man up and all that. Yeah, it's next man up. But that talent drop-off is huge from Tristan Wirfs to whoever they plug in. So, I think if I'm the offensive coordinator, if I was thinking maybe 60-40 pass, now I'm thinking 60-40 or 65-35 run, because I got to protect my quarterback right now.
Could you see more of Rachaad White there for Grizzard's offense? Because, a lot of people a lot of fans would be critical of White, but White can do something that Bucky Irving hasn't been able to show he can do consistently, which is pass protect. So do you expect more opportunities for White, especially in these passing situations?
What White is an every down back. He can run, he can catch, and he can block. And again, Peter, you brought up a great point about Irving and Turner. We don't know if they can do that because they haven't had enough of a sample size to figure it out. We do know that today, and again, I asked Dirk Cutter this one time, is running back a misnomer? He said, yeah, it's a catching back. If you can't catch the football, you can't play in the National Football League. Plain and simple. And that's a fact. Look at Saquon Barkley. Yeah, great runner, but he can catch the football big time. So, yeah, that's the thing. I think you're going to see them lean on White a little bit more until they find out what they actually have with Irving and Turner.
All right. Sounds good, my friend. Appreciate the time here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, all right?
All right, we will talk to you Wednesday, Peter.
Yes, sir, you will. Good stuff there. Leo Haggerty, the legend himself. So open phone lines if you want to talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Tristan Wirfs injury situation. In fact, the question of the night, does your record change for this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Also, a uniform being revealed tomorrow. Are you excited about that situation? Do you think it's white? Do you think it's creamsicle? Do you care? It seems like some of you just don't care right now. So we will talk to the webheads here on the text line until we get some phone calls, and we'll move on and talk some more here. What do you think about Charlie Heck? What do you think about the situations there with what they do with this offense and the new offense by Josh Grizzard, not Grizzard, Grizzard, as I've been corrected before, so I'll make sure that I get that right. Pitchers aren't stretched out enough in the minors. Certainly seems like that's a situation, but again, it's all about the pitching loading and not having complete games and taking them out. I asked for phone calls. You get phone calls. Let's go on to his second call here. Alex, go ahead. Welcome to the Evolution.
All right. Since it's a slower night, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit since it's just us. As far as the All-Star voting goes, I want to talk about that real quick. I feel like MLB needs to go to stats and not by popular voting. Example, let's use one position I wanted to get your opinion on.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk a little bit of baseball until someone comes in, and then I'll head out.
Well, hold on.
How do you feel about Guerrero over Aranda when in WAR alone, Aranda is a little bit better than Guerrero? Granted, the batting stats are slightly above. I think Guerrero has another homer than Aranda, but Aranda has more RBIs than Guerrero. What do you feel about MLB going to stats and not by the voting? Because obviously, let's say the Yankees, the Jays, they're always going to have a bigger fan base than, because everybody says vote, 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 vote. Well, I think Arana deserves it over Guerrero based by stats, but obviously the Jays have a bigger fan base than we do.
No, I think it comes down to fan voting. It's always about fan voting. It's always about player voting, but especially the fans. It's a fan game, the All-Star game, as much as we want to put, as much as we want to watch it with, excitement, it is a fan game. It doesn't really mean anything. There's no home field advantage to it. It's just for pride. So am I getting upset? Am I surprised that Rays are not involved in more of the All-Star voting? Yeah, I'm not surprised by it because, again, it's a popularity vote. And a guy like Guerrero, who's already earned a new contract extension and is a young superstar around the league, of course, is going to get, the popular vote and the vote over a guy like Aranda who's come out of nowhere and maybe the MVP of this Rays team when all is said and done, hitting over 300 because he's been a shock and he's been a pleasant surprise, if you will, for that Rays lineup. But am I surprised by it? No, I'm not. To answer your question, I don't know what they need to do. I think it's always going to stay the same because, once again, it's a fan game. It doesn't mean anything, so why change it? Fans want to see Guerrero. They don't necessarily want to see Aranda unless, he puts some years together, and even then, Guerrero is a superstar, considered a superstar, so that's the reason why he gets the overall vote. Does that answer your question?
I guess. Yeah, that's good. Which, by the way, breaking news, Jazz Chisholm with the Yankees takes a first-round home run derby exit with only 3 home runs in his first round.
Well, there you go. And the Junior Caminero is going to face Byron Buxton, the old friend there from the Minnesota Twins, who did his best to kill the Rays in that series, which, by the way, that road trip was just brutal. 2-8.
It was brutal, buddy.
Brutal, yes.
I want to talk to you about one more thing, and then I want to ask about the Bucs real quick.
Sure.
About the Rays. This is my last thing about the Rays. I think the Rays are going to be just fine. I think the Rays just happen to go into the second half with the easier schedule. I think we play the White Sox. No, actually, I think we start by the O's and then the White Sox. So if you're a Rays fan like myself, it's very disappointing for the second half or the first half of July. I'm actually just as shocked, but just hang in there. But talking about the Bucs real quick and Tristan Wirfs and the injury, and you asked a question to the Webheads tonight, does that affect the record? I think you guys are going to be surprised that the Bucs are going to find there's always a key piece that steps up. Even when like Ryan Jensen went down, I think the Bucs have enough key pieces that I don't think you're going to. The goal is to go in and beat the Falcons. It sucks that we have them early in the season with this being announced.
Mm-hmm.
But if the Bucs can just figure out a way to beat the Falcons, because remember, you need to get your division wins, especially early in the season, because we've found out at many times that you're holding on the edge of your seat at the end of the season when you're going to be playing those last couple games against your division rivals. Could be the Panthers. I don't really know the order of the schedule right now. Usually we end the season with the Panthers. I'm not really sure the order this year. I don't have the schedule in my hand. But
well, you're going to face the Panthers the last month of the season, so you're going to have 2 games back to back. Yes.
There's always that last month, that important key piece like last year. I think it was last year that we were hoping that the Falcons would lose. I think it was like 2 weeks prior, and then I think we went into the last week where it was the last week where Mike Evans got that touchdown and pretty much sealed, or that first down conversion to break his yardage, and that sealed the deal. But anyway, can the Bucs have a guy like Rashad White step in? You just mentioned about him. That's another key piece that I think you can use, because he's that man can block, man. That man can do a little bit of everything. So it's going to come down to those first pieces. Asking about your initial question about the record, maybe a game extra as an L. I had the team going 12-5. I think you were on the same boat with me.
Right.
I don't think it affects us too much. And I know that sounds, because I love Tristan Wirfs, and obviously he's a huge key piece to this offensive line. But I think we still easily get 11-12 wins. It's all going to depend on who steps in.
So you have no concerns at this point. No concerns.
You said, do I have concern?
Yes.
No, I mean, a little concerned, because obviously it's Tristan Wirfs. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, who wouldn't have a little concern?
Sure.
But I just feel like looking at all the key pieces that the Bucs have done in the draft and everything in line together, who's back and who's not back, who's here, who's not here. Health-wise, overall, I think we look pretty good. I think there were still some questions about Chris Godwin. I didn't really get into all that, but and maybe you can tell me that real quick. But other than that, I don't think it affects us too much, Peter.
All right. Thanks a lot, Alex. Appreciate the 2 calls, man, as always. All right. Good stuff. All right. So open phone line, 727-255 0391. It's 727-255-0391 as we're expecting Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, best of the Bay, Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire, or Louie from the Frozen Pirate podcast, all right now not showing up. So, this is what ESPN.com's annual survey of 70 coaches, suits, and scouts. Wirfs was voted the number one offensive tackle in the NFL. Jeremy Fowler released this morning in care of our friends there at Joe Bucs Fan. Of the 24 tackles, they got a top 10 vote. Wirfs led the way. Bucs right tackle Luke Haggerty got at least one vote, though he was ranked below the honorable mention group. Tristan Wirfs, number one. We'll get back to that in just a moment. Let's go out to the tribal troll.
Acknowledge me.
All right, let's go out to Roger.
Right.
What's
Acknowledge
going on?
me. The longest
listen,
reigning defending webhead in history.
Well, I'm going to acknowledge that you're an idiot by what you were just saying about Junior Caminero playing for the Yankees, because this is the reason why this is great breaking news tonight with the ownership group, because you're not going to have the same stupid crap that's been going on here the last couple of years.
We don't know that.
We do know that. We do know that. I'm going to tell you, I'm assuming that I know that that this group means business. You got to sign your young superstars. They're going to sign their young superstars. So enough with the nonsense of players playing with the New York Yankees. Those days are dead, okay, for Rays fans. If you're waiting for young talent to walk out the door like Junior Caminero, who, by the way, is 21 years old and may set the league on fire, that's how great he can be, you're not going to let him walk out the door. Sorry. All right, what's on your mind?
Until I see it, I won't believe it.
Well, you're going to see it in September. They're going to own the team, and they're going to spend money.
My main reason for calling, they're going to stay in Tampa, supposedly, right?
They're staying in Tampa, yes. Okay.
Where are they going to play for the next 3 to 5 years when they get a stadium built?
That's a great question that a lot of people don't know right now. They may still go back to the Trop, or they may go somewhere else. I think that's
Trop is 5 years away from being rebuilt.
It's not 5 years away. It's not 5 years away from being rebuilt now. That's nonsense. Now, come on. Come on.
It's not nonsense.
They gotta fix the roof. They gotta fix some things, but they can probably get that done by next year. Stop with the nonsense.
The entire building has to be gutted.
It doesn't have to be gutted. You're doom and gloom and all this nonsense
look at the statements from the city of St. Pete.
Again,
the entire building needs to be gutted.
Again, you don't know.
Restaurants, seats, bathrooms, concessions.
Okay,
it all has to be gutted.
You don't know how long it's going to be. Let's watch this play out. But on this show, when I told you about the report that this team in Major League Baseball was and where I got it from, and brought on J.P. Peterson, and you said, well, I believe when I see it, the Orlando deal is going to happen. Orlando, they're going to relocate. I told you from the very beginning what was going to happen. So let's see that play out and where they're going to play here the next 3 to 4 years. Is it going to be in St. Pete? Is it going to be in Tampa or somewhere else? But I think Major League Baseball, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, and the new ownership would not go into this blindfolded and not have some type of deal to where they're going to make this work.
They can't stay at Steinbrenner Field.
They can or they can't?
They cannot.
They can. How come?
Well, because that's the home for the Yankees. What is it? The AAA team.
Yeah. Well, they did it this year. They can't do it next year. They can't work out a deal.
Said they can do it for 1 year.
They could do it for 1 year. You don't think Major League Baseball and the Yankees would have something to say about that?
Yeah, the Yankees have everything to say about it. It's their field, it's their team.
You're just assuming that this is what's going to happen. Again, you're making these assumptions, just like you made the assumptions that this Rays team was going somewhere. And I told you it was not going effing anywhere. This team is going
just like you're
nowhere.
Making assumptions that the team is going to be in Tampa.
What's the assumption? What is the assumption?
Have nowhere to play.
That is the report. That is the report right now. This is being reported. This is not me.
It's being reported, but they have nowhere to play.
Okay. But they have a plan. Major League Baseball and the commissioner of Major League Baseball has a plan. Do you think they would go into this not knowing where the Rays are going to play here the next couple of years?
Plan,
okay, then. There you go.
It will not be in Tampa for the next 3 to 5 years.
I don't know that. I do not know that unless it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. They may play in St. Pete. They may play in Tampa.
Where would they
may
play in
play
St. Pete?
They would play in St. Pete because you rebuild
Where?
the Trop. The Trop.
It's 3 to 5 years away from
It's
being
not
rebuilt.
who said there's 3 to 5 years
The
from
city
being
of St.
rebuilt?
Petersburg,
The
Peter.
city of St. Pete has not ever said that at all. Show me that report
Oh my God.
of where St. Pete has
All
said
right.
it's 3 to 5 years.
We're going to agree to disagree.
We're gonna.
You're just you're not looking at reality,
You're
Peter.
just throwing nonsense out. No, man, you haven't looked at reality. You've been a guy that's never looked at reality. You never look at reality. You're completely out of reality. You need a reality check. That's what you need. You're in the twilight zone because you thought this team was going to move to Orlando. You thought this team was going to move to Nashville. You thought this team was going to move all over the place to Montreal, and they haven't. You need a reality check. You're in the twilight zone, Roger. Anything else?
Nah, that's it.
All right, goodbye.
Hey,
See you later.
we'll see what happens in 3 to 5.
Yeah, 3 to 5 years. Yeah, exactly. It's just like you were right about everything with the Rays moving out of here.
F you,
Get the hell out of
F
here.
you, and F you. Peace out. I'm going to go have a Guinness.
Get the hell out of here with that. Open phone line, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. 3 to 5 years. Who said that? Hey, 3 to 5 years. I need 3 to 5 years to talk to you on the phone. I should be in jail to listen to your nonsense at this point. Complete and total nonsense.
I'm trying not to suck right there.
3 to 5 years. They'll have the Trop ready in probably 6 months. They'll have the roof back on there. They'll have the damage done from the inside. They'll work out a deal. Honestly, do you think that Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred, and new ownership would go into this and not have some type of plan? This is not Stu Sternberg. Let's go out to the phone lines. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the Evolution.
It's I'm right, man. I'm finally calling on here.
You know I'm right. What's going on, boss? How you doing? What's your name?
Doing good. Finally, I fucking call when I'm not supposed to cuss.
That's all right. That's okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna point out one thing. This is the same Rogers shoe here that keeps claiming the Bears are gonna freaking do something every fucking year.
Well, listen, we love Roger Shoe on this show. He is the tribal troll, but
I
also
just point all that out. That's all.
Yes,
I just want to point all that.
I know. But he also said that the Rays were moving, and then and he just likes to stir it up. He just likes to troll me. That's the reason why he's a tribal
bad
troll.
record, man. If he had a record, he'd be last in the division. Man.
Well,
that's all I got to say.
There you go. All right, so I'm right. I appreciate you calling in. What's on your mind tonight, my friend?
Not that. I just wanted to point out that, man, and listen. I'm going to go into the Bucs schedule too, man. I think we're going to start out slow. I'm looking at it. We'll be like 1-3, 1-4 start out, but I think when we hit, we got Jets. Then what's the next game?
Well, you've got the first game, of course, is with Atlanta, and then you got the Texans afterwards. You got the Jets, and of course, you got the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, which Todd Bowles has had their number. But it's gonna be tough without Tristan Wirfs. I mean, let's face it here. Who knows? Maybe Heck will surprise us, but from what you see right now on paper, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing for Tristan Wirfs, and does that affect your record-wise of what you're looking at with this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team this year in 2025?
Okay, but they say like 4 games, right?
Yeah, 4 games.
First 4 games, so he'll probably be back during the Eagles game, right?
We'll see, and again, he'll be on that PUP list. So there's no, how long does it take him to get back into shape? What's the direct impact to him not being in that new offense? I mean, there's a lot of things to still sort through. He may, I doubt he's back for the Philadelphia Eagle game. I think they're going to take their time and they're going to make sure that he's 100% because, again, you don't want this to be a Ryan Jensen situation where he's going to miss an extended period of time. Because once again, going back to what we were talking about, Tristan Wirfs is being looked at as the number 1 offensive tackle. And is that a surprise to you? It's not a surprise to me. We've been saying this the last couple of years that Tristan Wirfs may not necessarily just be the best left tackle in the game, but the best offensive tackle in this game.
Oh, 100%. But it was like last year, even during the 2021 season, he's a bit injury prone. Right. And the thing is, I'll tell you this, 2021, if he's healthy, that whole team is healthy. I don't know about AB still being there, but if we still had that whole team healthy in there, we'd be back-to-back champions.
I agree.
I swear.
I completely
I swear.
agree with you. You go back to that. I mean, was it AB leaving? Of course, but Chris Godwin not being there, and that really hurt. And then, of course, Tristan Wirfs not being in that game versus the Rams. That hurt. That probably was the biggest loss at the end of the day. And, Tristan Wirfs has not only developed into, a young player, young offensive tackle that, a lot of people look at and look up to, but he is he's a leader on this team, and missing him in this lineup, missing him on that line is definitely going to hurt this team going forward. Record-wise, I said 12-5. I may lower that number down, maybe to 11-6. Is that how you're feeling about this team at this point without Tristan Wirfs for the first 4 games?
That's what I was saying. At least 10-6 or 11-5 is what I'm going for.
Yeah, it's so weird now. It's 10-7. I'm right, and it's 11-6. No, that's okay. It's okay.
My bad.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. Well, I appreciate the call. What else is on your mind tonight, my friend?
I think I'm gonna let it go right there, man. Maybe I'll call him for another time, man.
You should call in. Don't be a stranger. You've been a long time follower on this show. We appreciate that. As always, there on YouTube. I'm right. Call in. Use that second call here on the Evolution. All right.
All right, man. Nice hearing from you, Peter.
Yeah, buddy. Nice hearing from you, too. There you go. So, guy that's watched this show for a long time from the very inception of it finally gets the courage, if you will, to call in. You should call in. I don't usually yell at you. I don't usually get mad at you unless you say some nonsense. Then, we go all Tom Brady.
That's great enough to suck right there.
Roger, I think, is just trying to troll me tonight. Let's go back out to the comments. By the way, an update here, because I'm not watching the home run derby contest, so you guys are updating me. But Junior Caminero has defeated Byron Buxton, so he has moved on. All right, so let's go ahead and continue to read some of these comments, and we will get back to the Tristan Wirfs stuff here. We'll go into Ndamukong Suh also retiring, and also I want to hear from you Bucs fans. Are you excited about the uniform reveal tomorrow? Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Of course, we got the Rays talk. What do you think about this Rays deal finally being done? That's the early report here, the breaking news of the day. Stu Sternberg has agreed in principle to sell to the Zalupski group there for $1.7 billion with a B billion dollars. So there you go right there. And all I can say is victory! Because you know how I feel about this ownership. I can't stand it. And I told you when this team would be sold, I would definitely have a party. And I would party like it's 1999. If you don't understand that reference, go ahead and Google it, kids, and put it on YouTube. That's how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling good. All right. So let's go ahead and go out to Roger Shue Jr. playing for the Yankees in 2 years. We already told you that's not going to happen. I'm right. Thank you very much for, again, calling in. Roger is a moron. I tend to agree with you on that.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with that comment. Wirfs is a man among boys that he is. Christopher Cole, Suzuki not getting in over a guy that missed a month and a half is ridiculous. It is, but it is the All-Star game. It's the reason why, it's almost a joke at this point. It's a fans game. Are you going to watch it? Do you have any interest besides the Rays at this point? That would be also the topic of discussion for the night. Buxton only got 7, so Junior is up. We told you that he moved on. Roger was born an idiot because of where he's from. Same doofus that keeps saying the Bears are going to be great every year. That's okay. Dave says Caminero just beat Buxton in the home run derby. Tony Greco Jr. just beat Buxton. Raise up, raise up. Good stuff there. Let's go out to Eric. Says, let's go, let's go. Read my last comment. I did. Christopher Cole, Caminero is in the finals. Reyna, what's going on? Reyna right there. Let's go out to Tony Greco. Thought they said they could repair the trop for next season. That's what I thought too. I didn't think it was 3 to 5 years. Who said 3 to 5 years? Again, having this conversation with Roger Shue made me want to have 3 to 5 years in jail. because it's nonsensical at this point.
Shut up!
Alex, your number one webhead is a moron. Well, that would that would make sense. But I've known Roger for a long time. So he says I'm not trolling at all. Well, we'll get back to that in a moment. Why would they even start working on it again if it's going to take 3 to 5 years? That's crazy. Exactly. Thank you very much for making some sense here.
Yes! Yes!
Not going to take 3 to 5 years to rebuild the Trop. The Trop isn't completely destroyed, just the roof. They did have some sewer damage. It did have some water damage inside, but let's not act like it's completely destroyed. It can be used. They will figure out a. Do you honestly think, I want to throw this out there to the naysayers once again, do you honestly think that Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, would go into this situation with a new ownership and not have a plan? 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391. Come on, guys. Let's think about this. Let's put our caps on here. Let's put our thinking caps on, if you will. Exactly, Dave. There's a plan in place. Anyone paying over $1 billion for a team is not going into it without a stadium plan in place. Exactly. Thank you. Let's go out to Tony here. The city approved $22.5 million for a new Teflon coated fiberglass roof, the same material as the original. Thank you very much.
Yes! Yes!
Let's go on to Roger Shue. I'm not trolling at all. Y'all gonna owe me an apology when I'm right. Well, I don't think we're gonna owe anybody an apology because you're gonna be completely wrong. In fact, I will bet you Jets Pizza or whatever dinner lunch you want to get that the Rays play in either St. Pete or Tampa next year. How much you want to bet me? Call up. Put the bet down. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Let's go out to the phone lines. What's your name? Where you're calling from? You're on the Evolution.
This is Dave.
What's going on, Dave? What's on your mind, boss?
Well, I just want to say something about all the people about the Tristan Wirfs thing. It's like people need to calm down. Like the Bucs are a really good team without one player. I mean, I know he's the best left tackle in football, but still, we can get through 4 games if that's what's going to be without him.
Well, I mean, they're going to have to do that. And again, no confirmed reports by the Bucs, but you assume that report from Rick Stroud, who's covered this team for over 20 years and other reports out there. So there's no confirmation. Maybe he comes back earlier, but I would doubt it, especially if this has been a lingering thing that's happened last year. So we'll assume that he's going to miss the first 4 games. Does that have any bearing on you and where you see this Bucs team? Because I said 12-5. Maybe I change it. Maybe I go down to 11. Is that how you're feeling at this point? Do you go down in wins? Where do you think the effect is? Does it affect your overall mindset of how you think how good this Bucs team and this offense can be this year?
I'll feel good if we come out 2-2.
Okay.
Without him.
Okay.
I mean, but the thing is, though, is everybody's worried about Grizzard and everything else about how the offense is going to work. I think he'll come up. Grizzard's been there. He knows what to do, and he'll help out with that side on the ball. But the thing is, we don't run the ball a lot to the left side anyway. We run the ball mostly to the right side. Actually, if you actually watch, I mean, and the thing about it is the only thing I'm worried about is if Baker gets hit a lot from the left side, is he's going to start getting, happy feet. But other than that, I mean, like I said, it's just, we got to play the games. People start overreacting about Wirfs being hurt and everything right now. But the one thing that really upsets me about the whole situation is I don't understand how we waited this long for him to have this surgery done.
Well, again, I don't know all the intel of the inside of what the Bucs and their medical staff thought, but obviously, again, this is an injury that was last year, that hurt him last year, and from the medical staff standpoint, they probably thought that it was best for him to rest, and then it didn't get any better. He had a brace on; he couldn't participate in the OTAs. And then it became a lingering problem, and you had to take care of it. And again, he underwent arthroscopic surgery the last Tuesday there for the right knee from last season. He wore a brace and the brace on his knee throughout the Bucs offseason program after experiencing multiple setbacks. So he had setbacks. So it was something that was not getting better, and you have to take care of it. And it's easy for, I know, a lot of fans to say, well, why didn't I don't know. That's a great question. I think their medical staff thought it this way, that it would be better, best served for Tristan to have some rest, and it didn't happen that way. And unfortunately, the Bucs are gonna, and it's actually fortunate because, listen, if something like this would have happened and it's a Ryan Jensen situation where you lose him for the whole year, then I definitely think from the mindset of Bucs fans, you're like, well, that's definitely going to impact the record. But for the first 4 games, I know it's a quarter away for the whole season. It's only a quarter of the season. It's not the whole season. So it could have been much worse. What else?
Well, like when Leo was on before, I actually agree with him. We have to win the game against Atlanta, the first game of the season.
Right.
Because that will be a big game for us already without Wirfs.
Right.
And the whole thing about it is we have to win that game. But like I said, if we beat Falcons and lose 2 and then win another one, I think we'll still be in good shape. But, another thing is I don't know if you saw, I think Garrett Wilson just got a big, huge contract.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. We'll definitely get into that.
Well, now all of a sudden, all the clickbait people are talking about Mike leaving next year because, he's going to want this big, huge contract like Garrett. I'm like, no, Mike is here. He's not. I don't think Mike is going to go anywhere else for another 2 or 3 seasons anyway.
Right. Well, that's one thing that annoys me about, Facebook, though, is clickbait, social media. And I get it. They're trying to make money and trying to get engagement, and they're trying to do as much as they can, but they're doing too much. We all know, and you've seen this, Dave, over the last, throughout his whole career, Mike Evans could have got more money from other teams and decides to stay with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I think at the end of the day, that's his main goal. He wants to stay with one team. He wants to surpass Jerry Rice with that 1,000-yard record there, getting the 12th. And yeah, it'd be easy to say because Garrett Wilson's getting $30 million a year that Mike Evans would want the same thing. But let's face it, Mike Evans is a little bit different from Wilson. He's up there in age. The Bucs are not going to give him $30 million, and I doubt Evans wants $30 million. And you know why? Because he's never wanted that. And to me, that's not only the organization and where you're at because you want to be there, but also the Tom Brady effect. That's what it comes down to. And Mike Evans has talked about that. So you give your team the opportunity. If you're trying to be the top paid wide receiver, then that's going to hurt the team overall. Yeah, it's going to get you paid, but it's going to hurt the team overall and their competitive balance. And I think that's where it comes down to. Does Evans deserve it? I mean, sure, you could absolutely make a case for it. There would be any team out there be crazy enough to pay him $30 million. They would overpay because, again, if you look at the comparison, he is talented, but he is a little bit up there, and it's a different situation with him and Wilson.
Right. Well, I mean, that's another thing, though, too, about the type of players we have now in Tampa Bay is our players actually want to be here. They want to build a culture. They've already built the culture.
Correct.
And we have a lot of team players on our team. They're not selfish. They're not about the money. They want to win. They want to build something here in Tampa. But yeah, it's like I said. I just think it's clickbait. They want people to click on it and oh my God, Mike's going to leave. And no, he's not. He's not going to leave. If he was going to leave, he'd have left 2 years ago when Kansas City wanted to bring him to Kansas City.
Correct.
And they were going to pay him more money.
Or the Houston Texans, which we find out that, Houston would have paid him more than what the Bucs. And we know that Chris Godwin turned down at least $30 million from the New England Patriots. Why does he want to stay here? Because of Mike Evans. Why does he want to stay here? Because of Baker Mayfield. Why does he want to stay here? Because of Jason Light and Todd Bowles. And that's the reason why Light and Bowles in the first place received their contract extension, because the Glazers are huge on this culture. They're huge on the fact of where the Bucs were just an afterthought, as we talked to Levante David about a month and a half ago about this, to now they're a destination that, players want to be with, and players want to be with, and they want to re-sign, and they want to have an opportunity to be productive, because they know if they're able to be productive, that Jason Light will take care of them. They know that this is a place that you want to be, that your place to have an opportunity to win division championships and possibly go a little bit further than the first round. And we'll see what happens this year in 2025. Anything else, my friend?
from what you were saying, like, isn't it refreshing? I've been a Bucs fan since '76.
Love it.
And the whole thing about it, isn't it refreshing that we're a destination now? We used to be the graveyard for players.
Correct. Where players go to die or retire. You know,
Right.
you remember the likes of, Tim Brown having a cup of coffee, right? Charlie Gardner, the top free agent, he's washed up. You've got plenty of players going all the way to back to Dexter Manley. How about that name? A guy that was good with the Washington Redskins was out of the league. Why does he come to the Bucs? Because he's washed up. He has drug problems. I mean, that's the type of organization you were, and now you're an organization that can attract a player like Hassan Reddick, who's looking to prove himself. You get a guy like Mike Evans who wants to stay here. You got Chris Godwin who wants to stay here. You got Levante David who wants to stay here. You got Antoine Winfield Jr. who wants to stay here. Why? Because Jason Light, because of Todd Bowles, because this organization's ability to keep the core intact, even when the pundits were out there in the national media world and even local media saying it's doomsday. The sky is falling because Tom Brady's not going to be here anymore. So the Bucs are going to take a step back. No, that's the reason why players want to come here, because if you prove yourself, if you're productive, Jason Light will get the deal done anyway, in shape and form. Get that deal done, make you happy. And it doesn't hurt that you live in the Tampa Bay area and that you don't have the tax situation here. So again, it's a great destination.
Well, like I was saying, you've seen to my comments, I've always been a big Trask supporter, but the thing is, even with Baker now, like, Baker turned out to be something special, and now he wants to stay in Tampa Bay.
Yep.
And I guarantee you, when his contract, time to redo his contract, I guarantee you he'll take less money to stay in Tampa Bay.
Yep. It's it. That's what it comes down to.
It's like I said, it's just really refreshing. Like it's nice to be in the playoffs and everything, but like I said, the whole thing about it is I think people just need to calm down about the Tristan Wirfs thing. It's like we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's going to work out, and just we got to play the game. That's all there is to it.
Dave, this is Dave from North Carolina. Who is this? Dave who?
Dave from North Carolina.
Dave from North Carolina. You ever called this show before?
Yeah, I've called once before.
All right. Well, you need to call more. You need to call the second time if you want to. Don't be a stranger, my friend. Great call. All right. By the way, are you looking forward to having that uniform revealed tomorrow? With
you don't know how long I've been waiting for them to bring back the white uniforms. I love them.
Do you think it's going to be the white with the red numbers? Or you think that it's going to be what I'm thinking at this point? It's going to be white with creamsicle numbers. That's the reason why you bring back the head ball coach in the first place.
It's going to be the OG white with the creamsicle numbers.
Agree. All right.
And that's like one of the best looking uniforms we've ever had to me. I don't care what people think about how we used to be losers, and it's still one of the best looking uniforms that's ever been created.
It is, absolutely. And there are some good memories there. But as you know all too well, my friend, being a diehard, and I love Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans that are diehards. I love Tampa Bay sports fans in general that are diehards, because you have to die hard with your team, especially the Bucs. There are some good memories, but a lot of those memories are also bad. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll definitely be covering it on Wednesday night. We'll get your reaction and use that second call if you want to, my friend. All right.
No problem, Peter. Keep up the good work. I really enjoy the show.
Hey, man, appreciate it. Appreciate your call, man. Great stuff there. And as we always say here, man, right? Go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy.
Go Bucs.
Wait up.
It's exciting.
Go Bucs.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Go Bucs. Thanks a lot, Dave. Appreciate you. As always, open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. All right. So we'll continue to read these comments. What's the update on the Junior Caminero situation? I saw Eric, you tried to call in, so give me a call back. Again, open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391, as we have no guest tonight, I guess. So everybody decided to either go to sleep or forget about me. So we got each other on a Monday night with the home run derby contest going on. Junior Caminero being in the finals. What do you think of that kid? If you want to talk about the breaking news, which we had at the beginning of the show to reset it, Stu Sternberg has agreed in principle to sell the team by September for $1.7 billion with a B. What do you think of that situation? What do you think of this Rays first half? I know the last couple of weeks it's been tough to watch, but there are some good things. Let's go out to Cole here. CSB brother, welcome to the Evolution.
Thank you, sir. It's always nice to be on it, man. Always nice to evolve with you.
Absolutely.
Evolve with you.
We evolve, we evolve, whatever you want to call it, my friend. Yes.
Listen, I just wanted to give you guys an update. Junior is in the final. They haven't started the final yet, but Junior is in the final with the big dumper.
Awesome. Good stuff.
So, yeah, very nice. Tampa Bay athletes, showing out. Very cool.
Well, he's been showing out. I mean, he's been and it started, against the Houston Astros on the road when he was not hitting well on the road, right? Where was he hitting? 159 at the time, and then he.
Yeah, but I think it started with way back in Game 7 of the Winter League. I mean, he's been really good for a while this year.
Well, and that's the reason why you don't get rid of him last year at the trading deadline, which I know there were some people out there. Trying to trade him for, Shohei, but this is the reason why you don't get rid of him. And there was talk of the Rays trying to do that and still the Angels not taking that deal. So shame on them because, Caminero right now is the face of the franchise and he's looking like he could be a superstar right before our eyes. And he's only 21 years old. He's a 5-tool player.
He's 22, actually. He just turned 22 recently.
He is. Happy birthday to Junior Caminero. 22 years old, showing out tonight at the Home Run Derby. Awesome stuff.
And I think he's going to start in the All-Star game because somebody else went out. So he's going to start at third, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in the final with Cal Raleigh of Seattle.
Yes, he is.
First round was 21. The semifinal was 8. He only needed to get 8, right. And his longest home run was 475. And I think he's going to win it, and I think he's the odds-on favorite right here and he's going to be the second one up. So they're just now starting it from what I'm watching now. I mean, I may be a little behind because I've got streaming with YouTube TV, but they're just now starting it, and Cal Raleigh's going to start. So that means that he's going to know his number. Whatever the number is, he's going to know it before he swings the bat. So they're a good job on him getting there. I think he's going to win. I think the Bucs are going to go 12. Was it 12-5?
12-5. Okay.
Yeah, 12-5 with Wirfs being out.
So you have no concern at this point with Wirfs missing those first 4 games. There's no concern.
I do. I think they're going to go 2-2. Okay. I think 2 of their 5 losses are going to be in the first 4 weeks. I don't see them losing, but maybe 1 game in the division. I really don't see there being too much of a problem because because of the sweep last year, them beating Atlanta the first game. I think they lose to Philadelphia. I do think they lose to the Rams.
And
I mean, I think they're going to go 5. I think they're going to have five losses.
All right,
and I think that's going to be enough to win the division.
Should be enough. It should definitely be enough because I think I'm not buying Carolina until Bryce Young shows me something more. I get it; they're a hot team from last year. They're playing with some momentum, but we'll see what happens. Atlanta defensively, they lose Grady Jarrett there. They have tweaked it there with drafting of James Pierce and of course the kid Walker from Georgia. So we'll see if that helps that pass rush out. But, it's really the second year of Michael Penix. Is he going to be still a rookie quarterback? Is he going to have a sophomore slump? They do have the weapons there, but can he lead the charge? And it's on Raheem Morris. For me, can he do enough to stay as a coach? I think he's unproven. And then you also have the Saints who have a rookie starting quarterback. So who knows
I think the
about
Saints are easily a top 5 drafting team.
I think you're exactly right about that. I think they're
easily, maybe even top 3.
Right. Well,
I mean, that's how bad they are.
They may be the worst team in the National Football League, and that may be by design because you're looking at Arch Manning,
yes,
the grandson, if you will, of Archie Manning, who used to play there about 40 years ago. So there you go.
Now, Peter, do you believe in the grassy knoll? I mean, are you like, do you believe in the crossfire? Are you into the conspiracy theories? I mean,
I love
seriously.
the conspiracy theories. What are you getting at here with the conspiracy theories?
Well, that's a bit of a conspiracy theory, and I think that the NFL has a little bit of. I think that Arch Manning they're gonna try like heck to get him to New Orleans. I don't think he's
Are you talking about Patrick Ewing to the New York Knicks?
Yes,
is that what you're
yes,
talking about?
Warm.
Are you talking about LeBron James to the Cleveland Cavaliers? I mean, yeah. Does the NFL
or let's say Cooper Flagg to Dallas? Even
well, that right now is not necessarily looking so good because the what I was told by the media icon TJ Reeves himself. Summer League is probably worse than preseason. It's completely pointless, but they've shut him down. So, for Mavericks fans who've gone through a multitude, Leo word, of injuries, you don't want your number 1 pick injured. So they're taking precautionary effects here and not letting him play in that summer league. So we'll see what
that's
happens.
A smart move. I really do think that's a smart move.
Well, and it didn't necessarily look like a smart move with trading Luka, but we'll see how this all plays out at the end of the day. Are you excited about the reveal, the uniform reveal of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tomorrow? Which, by the way, just you throw it out there, all white. It's going to be all white, and I think it's going to be creamsicle numbers. That's the reason why you bring back Steve Spurrier in the first place.
Yes.
But are you excited about that?
Yes, because you want the 76 uniforms. That's why you bring back the old ball coach, and it makes sense. And I think that's they're tipping their hand there. That's their tell.
They're
whoever they bring back,
right?
That's what they're going to do. I mean, they could bring back Hardy Nickerson and have the throwback uniforms be the '97 team. But no, they're going to bring back the old ball coach.
97 was the first year of Pewter.
Oh,
Red.
I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. I said 97, thinking that they would give me but they've changed that they've been red and pewter for a while and changed the helmet and all that stuff and just those god awful numbers, and it's just
the alarm clock numbers.
I know, but you're right.
You're
the first time you caught me in a while, man. I just really want to say thank you.
Yeah.
To you for I mean, I've had a rough summer. I ain't gonna lie. Mom being in the hospital and just other stuff that's going on in my life that hasn't been very good, and it's nice to just shut it off and listen to you talk sports and listen to those great interviews you had back in the day. Or back at the sports card show thing and just everything you've done. I really appreciate your work. I consider us friends, but I'm a huge fan.
Hey man, I appreciate your support, CSB brother. You've always been supportive of this show, even back then when we were first starting out. I really appreciate you. And that's the reason why we do the Sports Web in the first place, is to take your mind off of what's going on in your life. Whether you have a bad job, you can turn on the Sports Web, usually at 8 o'clock. But sometimes, we vary it. It's 9 o'clock. You get a chance to talk Bucs football. You get a chance to vent. You get a chance to talk about the Tampa Bay Rays. You get a chance to talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning or around the NFL. That is what the Sports Web should be for, as always for, is to take your mind off of what's going on in your daily life. So
thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you, man.
And you've done a great job. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna probably call back later, but I just want to give more people time to call you in. But I just want to say right now they're doing Cal Raleigh, and he's in that little pink thing, and he's got 15 homers.
15 home runs.
So,
all right.
15 homers with 1 out. Now 16, it looks like.
Right.
So and like I said, Junior is going to be second. It is 16 with 1 out and 3 more to go because he hit one long. You have to hit over 475 or 450. I can't remember which to get that 4th out in those T-Mobile pink ones. Yeah.
I don't even know what it's all about. I haven't watched the home run derby in a long time, and I feel bad. I wish I had my TV out here so I could watch it. I don't even know what the formula is, or I can't even keep track because they change it. It seems like every year, and it just used to be the home run derby. What is that all about? Explain that to me.
Well, okay, you have 3 minutes and 30 balls, I think, or 40 balls.
Okay.
To get as many homers in the first round, and then it drops to 2 minutes, and I think you have the same number of balls, but I'm not sure. And then at the end of that, you have the T-Mobile balls, which are pink because T-Mobile's thing is pink, apparently.
Yes.
And you get 3 outs to get as many homers. You can have as many balls as you want. There's not any count on any balls or time limit, but you have 3 outs. And if you hit a ball in that 3 outs, before you get the 3 outs, if you hit a ball over 450 feet or something like that, then you get a 4th one. And Cal Raleigh just hit his 4th out, and he's got 18. So Junior needs 19 to win the home run derby.
Well, so there you go. We'll keep you up to date on that situation there, Cole, CSB brother. Appreciate you. Use that second call as always. All right, good stuff there. Open phone lines. I see you, Joe Sway. Call back here, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. As we're here on a Monday night with breaking news when it comes to the Rays, looking at that situation right now. Again, Stu Sternberg has agreed in principle to sell the Rays to the Zalupski group there for $1.7 billion. What do you think of that situation? What do you think of Junior Caminero, what he's doing right now, putting on a display that is awesome for that 22-year-old superstar, the face of the Tampa Bay Rays right now, facing Cal Raleigh, who, 19 or 20 home runs. So he's got to beat 19 home runs. So we'll keep you up to date. We'll continue to read comments. And Joe Sway, you can call me back if you want to. All right. Y'all voice your opinions on here because you don't like mine. I get all this hate. It's not fair. Well, let me go out to the tribal troll. We're trying to be fair about this, but you're just throwing out nonsensical nonsense at this point when it comes to, well, I heard this report that St. Pete is 3 to 5 years away. I feel like you're trolling us.
I'm not even worried about the chat right now. I don't really care at this point. Okay. I put up my opinion and I get dogpiled. I let everyone put out their opinions and I don't say a word. So the reason I'm calling, your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, has returned to Monday Night Raw.
Well, there you go. Roman Reigns right there.
Acknowledge me.
Has returned, and that's really not a surprise. Of course, Reigns being away, I believe, having his 4th or 5th kid. So congratulations to him.
No, he's actually been out since the night after WrestleMania. He's got the lead role in the new Street Fighter movie.
Well, there you go. But also having a kid. That was
Cody Rhodes is also going to be in the movie. He's playing Guile.
Yes, he is. But also the report was that he was out because of having a kid with his wife.
I don't know. He's got 2 sets of twins. I don't know if he has another one that is on the way or has already come. I don't know. I haven't heard that.
He took some time off, and I think you're going to bring him back because Seth Rollins looked like he had a knee injury, which didn't necessarily look that great, and looks like he could be out for an extended period of time. So
they're gonna have to redo SummerSlam. They're gonna have to redo a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep. That's what happens with injuries. That kind of stinks. So all right, what else, Roger?
Anyway, that's all I wanted to say, man. Roman Reigns is back. Long live our tribal chief.
I had to give it to you because you were talking about the Rays not playing in Tampa or St. Pete. They're going to play in Tampa or St. Pete here in the next couple of years, right?
In the next couple of years, yeah. Not next year, no.
Well, we're going to play next year.
Orlando?
You're okay. You're out of here. See you later.
Maybe.
Goodbye. See you later. Get out. Yeah, Orlando, my ass. Orlando. You're the perfect person to mention Orlando. Come on, man.
That's good enough to suck right there. This guy sucks.
Yeah.
How about no?
No. They're not playing in Orlando. Stop it. What's the status on Godwin? Is he practicing with the team? Not as of yet. Mike DeRoche from Canada. So that situation is still has not resolved itself, if you will. So we'll see how that works out, because that's another injury that I know a lot of Bucs fans are looking forward for Godwin to come back from and see what his status is going forward for this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. Don't look now, but Junior is in a home run derby final. He is. What is the update on that, please? I like the white with the red numbers. 12 wins with our left tackle out the first 4 games. Okay, Cole. Christopher Cole, I believe it's going to be both home and away uniforms. It's going to be tough to beat Raleigh. It will. You know I'm right. I don't believe in Atlanta, but I think Carolina will be a team on our back. Mike DeRoche, I hope the jersey they show is the uni that they wore in their first franchise win in New Orleans. White jersey, orange numbers. Book it. I think that's exactly what it's going to be. Raleigh just got 15, still has 4 outs to go. Roman Reigns has a house in Brandon, Florida that he does. A lot of local wrestlers, a lot of wrestlers in WWE live here locally, namely John Cena. I'm glad Oberg lost to Gunther. The best match was Io and Rhea. Absolutely, it was Goldberg losing his last match. I was surprised by that. I really was. I thought they were going to do something. They didn't. And, of course, it didn't help with Seth Rollins getting hurt. The troll has jokes. He is just a dreamer. That he is. Very good with that one.
Yes! Yes!
All right. So keep me up to date on what is going on with Junior Caminero. Let me see here. Let me call this guy right here because he wanted to call in. So I'm curious of what he wants to talk about. It's either baseball or out in left field here. I don't know what it is. We'll call him back. See what he wants to talk about here. If he doesn't answer, he doesn't answer. Let's see. Hey, he's not there, I guess. There you go. That's what you get for calling people back. We are at 10:43 at night here, so we're going to wrap this up in just a little bit. We'll give you about 2 hours. Joe Sway.
Yes, Peter.
You were calling me, man. What's going on? Are you watching this home run derby contest tonight?
I would if I wasn't out here working games myself. So I'm literally just off the field, and I was trying to catch you before you went off the air.
I'm on air, man. I went on a little bit late. Go ahead. What were you saying now?
I'm bringing the passion, bringing the excitement. I'm gonna try not to bring nonsense tonight.
All right, give me what you think about what we heard tonight. Stu Sternberg agreeing in principle to sell the Rays by September.
Well, it's about effing time.
Listen to you. There you go. I'm going to give you a JP.
F you.
Yeah.
F you. F you. And F you. Peace out. I'm going to go have a Guinness.
That's exactly right. That's how I feel at this point.
Let me just say this, right?
Yes.
So I think he knew the writing was on the wall his damn self, especially with the whole the stadium fiascos year after year after year, and then the whole Montreal split the season between here. Well, I'm not in the Tampa Bay area, but you know what I mean. Splitting the season between Tampa Bay and Montreal. Did he ever think in his god awful mind of his that shit was gonna work? Hell no.
No. It wasn't going to work. It's a terrible plan. It was terribly planned. It was terribly done. I don't know how he thought it was going to work. I don't think he thought it through. Honestly, I have no idea what he was thinking. But again, I continue to tell people what was the main constant in this whole deal in the first place. It's always been Stu Sternberg. That's the main constant. That's the reason why you don't have a new stadium in the first place.
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure. And along with 99.9% of Rays fans out there are excited about him relinquishing his power to someone else. And I don't know much about this new group. I did hear that they are focused on keeping the Rays in Tampa. Now, is that the Trop lease? Is that still gonna be in after 2027? I believe, is that still on the table, or is that being extended or?
Well, I think it's going to be, I believe it's extended until 2028. And I believe that Major League Baseball and again, the commissioner and the new ownership group will work something out to where they will either pay off that lease or most likely play out that lease at Tropicana. And this whole, again, this thought process from Roger Shue that it's not going to be ready in 3 to 5 years is nonsense. They'll most likely have it ready for next year. They'll be playing there, or they will play in Tampa, but they have a plan. They're not going into this blindfolded and saying, hey, we got an ownership group that just paid $1.7 billion, but we don't know where the Rays team is playing. This is not Stu Sternberg and his ownership group. This is a different ownership group, and this is also Major League Baseball. They have a plan.
Okay, so they're planning on, so are they?
So to answer your question, I'm thinking that they're going to that lease is going to be extended until 2028 because they missed a year this year because it's supposed to be 2027, and they will figure out once this stadium is built either in 2029 or beyond that where they're going to play. And most likely they'll go back to the Trop, they'll play there, or they'll play at Steinbrenner next year. But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. They'll have something. They'll have something done. They have a plan. They're not going into this not having a plan.
So do you think the Yankees will let the Rays play there one more year?
I think it's certainly possible. I think it's certainly possible. Everything that I've talked to, I've talked to the guy and JP Peterson. You think it's certainly possible? So why not? I think again, it's not out of the realm. Or you could play somewhere else, but you're not going to play in Orlando like the Tribal Troll was putting out there. I don't see that happening at all. It doesn't make any sense. So, and we got an update here right now. Cal Raleigh has 18. Junior has 7 with his 1 and only time 111 left, 15 pitches left. Junior is tearing it up, says, I'm right. Cole says 14 home runs going into the untimed T-Mobile portion. So it looks like it's very close right now. We could have a home run derby champion and Junior Caminero. Now, how about that 22-year-old face of the franchise for the Tampa Bay Rays, a young superstar that is growing up right before our eyes at this point?
Hey, that I'm ecstatic about it. He's a dynamic, flashy player. Especially, I think he came into his own. Obviously, last year when he got caught up, but something that is going to be unnoticed is that when in the wintertime, when he played in the Dominican Republic Winter League, he tore it up down there during that season. And I think that momentum is riding him through now. And his rise is only ascending more into one of the best players in the game. So I'm hoping that he can stick around here and maybe he can be that second version of Evan Longoria for this franchise.
Or better. Yeah.
Or better. He can be better than Evan. Not to say that Evan wasn't, he was a dynamic player in his own right, and he is a Rays Hall of Famer. But sure. I feel like Junior is on that similar path, if not more.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's a little bit more talent. Loved Evan Longoria when he was coming up, but what Junior has done this year and what he could do in the future, and if he continues this track, if you will, he could definitely become not only the face of the Rays franchise, but possibly the face of Major League Baseball. That's how talented this kid is. Josue, what do you think about Tristan Wirfs being out? Does that affect your record? What did you think of that whole story about him missing possibly 4 games to start the season?
Well, this is news to me. So, okay.
Well, there you go. I got it. I got you for it. I knew you're keeping up on Bucs news here. Yes.
Well, I will say, so I'll talk about that real quick, and then I want to talk about they're bringing back the creamsicle road uniforms as well.
They are tomorrow. Yes, the reveal is tomorrow, my friend.
Okay, those I always felt like that uniform combination. I feel like that should have been kept.
Right.
Like the red and pewter is nice and everything like that, but the creamsicle orange, I think that's synonymous with Tampa and the Bucs and everything like that. So, as someone that is still around, I'm still a very casual Buc fan. I've always been Buc fan, born and raised in Tampa Bay area, of course. That's the only football team I really follow. But Tristan Wirfs, I think the Bucs will be okay. From afar, I believe that the Bucs will, try to like piece-make the line together to protect Baker Mayfield in the running game, because, like I said, isn't the running game one of the best in the NFL? I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Bucs will be all right.
Okay.
I don't think that they're going to miss him, of course, but I don't think that is going to affect the record that drastically.
All right. Good stuff, man. And I appreciate the call as always. Anything else on your mind tonight, Joe Sway? Because we just got an update. 15 home runs for Junior Caminero. He falls short to Cal Raleigh, who's leading Major League Baseball right now for the Seattle Mariners. Cal Raleigh is your 2025 home run derby contest winner.
I really hope, and as far as Cal Raleigh, his story and his year is phenomenal. I'm just hoping that they're not, because I'm hearing rumors, and they're not good rumors. Not saying that I'm creating rumors or anything like that, but
sure,
there's always the possibility of, is he doing this naturally, or whatnot.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if that's, making the rounds on social media or whatever, but I just hope that he is doing this, the right way, and not having like a Barry Bonds type of season back in, what was it, 01, when he hit 73 home runs.
Or Brady Anderson, you mean, with the 50 or 51 home runs
that's a
one
good
year?
one.
Yeah,
Peter, that's a good point. Brady Anderson, I think that was 95 or 96 or somewhere around there.
I think it was 97, actually. I'm thinking 97 maybe. Yeah.
Okay. But yes, I remember that as well. That's my thing about Cal Raleigh. He's a good, and he's a catcher too. So can he last? Through the dog days of August and into September, we'll see. But
it was 96. It was 50 home runs. So 1 year off there, but 96, 50 home runs, and then after that, 18, 24, 19, 8 and 1. So there you go, Brady Anderson.
And I believe he was part of the whole steroid scandal, right? I think he got popped, if I recall.
Let me check that out really quick. Yes. Let's see here. It's commonly accepted that Brady was using steroids during the 96 season. The only problem is zero evidence of it. So there's zero evidence of that. But you would think, with that, who knows? But you're exactly right. Yeah, you hopefully it's not. You never want to associate a Major League Baseball player with steroids, because to me it's a black eye. It's cheating. It's worse than gambling, in my opinion. At the end of it, so you never want to see that, especially with the young player from Seattle, because Major League Baseball, they need more young players. You got to do a better job of promoting those players in Raleigh, and of course the Caminero down here with the Tampa Bay Rays. So I'm always looking forward to those young players being promoted.
And I always want to be able to and I know I get on you guys, I get on, the flagship stations. I don't really listen to them anymore, but you said it right there. Promoting the stars of baseball is lacking.
It's paramount. You need more of that. Yes.
I don't know why. I have no idea what the marketing department for MLB is doing. I wish I was a fly on the wall in those meetings, if they're even having meetings, because the sport itself is at I don't want to say all-time high, because I feel as though the whole 98 season with McGuire and Sosa and those guys were slugging it out. I think that was like a peak for Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
I think now is up there.
Yeah.
So what do we need to do? And I know that I need to be able to promote myself, promote baseball within my own platforms and stuff and everything like that.
Sure.
But I'm a small little, fish in a big ass pond. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be able to guys like you guys in the Bay Area, like, especially with, when we have a budding star, like, get him out there more, promote, like,
Yeah.
let's get this going, like,
Agree.
because I want to be able to have baseball be as popular as in the NFL and unfortunately the NBA too, for that matter, because
I'd rather watch baseball than the NBA. Joe Sway, we got to run here, my friend. We're getting almost to the 2-hour mark here. I'm going to get off tonight early, but we'll be back on Wednesday night, man. Thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you, all right?
All right. Thank you, Peter.
All right. Good stuff there. So we're going to wrap this up. The reason why I'm wrapping it up tonight, Eric, I'm sorry, we're going to have to call back another time. The reason why I'm wrapping it up is because first, I want to get some sleep tonight. And second, I want to make some reels for you about this broadcast. But thanks a lot to our guest tonight, Mr. Leo Haggerty, former Coach Scout and now media member of Night Sports Productions. Again, the big news of the night. We'll talk more about this on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, our normal starting time there. Stu Sternberg has agreed in principle to sell the Tampa Bay Rays to the Zalupski Group for $1.7 billion. And, of course, Tristan Wirfs is expected to miss the first 4 games of the season. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. And do 3 things. We'll keep it down for the roommates here. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And, of course, for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay Sports Fan, it's your time. We'll see you next time on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. And as we always say on this show before we end it off, go Bucs.